When May first arrived in America, every day felt like a test. The language, the customs, even the way neighbors greeted one another. Everything was new. But nothing felt quite as mysterious as Thanksgiving. Her husband explained it was a holiday of gratitude, of gathering, of food. In books and store windows, she saw painted turkeys, golden leaves, families smiling at long tables. And always, there was one dessert at the center of it all: pumpkin pie. That autumn, her husband suggested, "Why don't we make our own Thanksgiving for the baby's first holiday here?" May smiled, but inside her heart raced. She had never baked before. Back home, ovens were rare. In her childhood kitchen, everything was steamed, boiled, or stir-fried. Pies were storybook things. But she nodded, determined. She decided she would bake a pumpkin pie. May scoured the internet to find the best recipe. She would be excited she'd found the perfect recipe, but she kept at it, searching again and again. At the small kitchen counter, she opened a cookbook, its pages stiff with recipes she could barely pronounce. She measured flour with unsteady hands, unsure if the spoonfuls were too much or too little. She rolled the dough, watching it crack at the edges, sticking to the counter, sticking to her fingers. Her baby gurgled in the high chair, watching as if it were a show. She laughed nervously and said, "Don't worry, Mama will figure it out." The smell of cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove filled the kitchen. Spices she had never used before. Sharp, earthy, comforting all at once. She mixed them into the bright orange pumpkin filling, tasting it with a spoon, wondering if it was too sweet or not sweet enough. When she poured it into the crust, the mixture wobbled. She slid it into the oven, holding her breath as the heat swallowed it whole. At last, the timer rang. May opened the oven door. The pie had baked, but not like the pictures. The crust was uneven, lopsided on one side, cracked in places. The filling had bubbled over, staining the edges. She sighed, thinking, "It's ruined." She wanted to hide it. She wanted to say they would try again next year. But then her husband stepped into the kitchen. He smelled the spices, saw the golden crust, and picked up the knife. He cut a slice, lifted it with care, and tasted it. A smile spread across his face, the kind of smile that reaches the eyes, soft and shining. "It's perfect," he whispered. "The best pie I've ever tasted." Tears pricked May's eyes. She looked at her husband, then at her baby, who clapped tiny hands as if cheering her on. And together they ate, bite by bite, crumb by crumb. The crust that was too thick, the filling that was too spiced, the pie that was not at all what she had imagined. And yet it was gone in minutes. That night, May understood something. It didn't matter that the pie was imperfect. What mattered was the love that sat around the table, the courage it took to begin a new tradition in a new country. From that day on, every Thanksgiving, May baked a pumpkin pie. Each year a little better, each crust a little smoother, each filling a little closer to the picture in the book. But no matter how many pies she made, none ever tasted as sweet as that very first one. Because Thanksgiving isn't about the perfect pie. It's about the courage to try, the love that gathers around us, and the stories we bake into every bite.